guys, this is another video, and I asked on my Instagram what you guys want to see, what topics, what's interesting, what you want me to talk about, and I had a lot of requests for recovery and recovery tips, and I had one called, not called, but request for psychology, like psychology stuff, and I thought I actually would combine the two because I personally think that psychology, what we think, what's in here, it's the first step to recovery. And I'll probably call this video First Step to Recovery. I think personally the first step, if someone would ask me, sorry, my hair's all poofy, but if somebody would come up and ask me, what is your tip for recovery? How do I get started? I would tell them this. This is the first step. That is why they say that eating disorders is a psychological issue. That's why they send you to therapists. If you do have eating disorders, it's because it starts here. It could be from a traumatic experience that you're trying to control food, or you're just a perfectionist and tries to control everything, including food. It could be many reasons to why. And remember, okay, guys, this is my personal opinion. I may be wrong. But from everything that I have studied and researched, everything I went through and I know people went through, this is what it seems like to me. And it's like a psychology, like all in here. So I would, step one is to kind of understand, I guess, that it's a psychological issue. It's not about food, it's not about weight, it's all in the brain, like what you think. And this could be you trying to control, and like I said, traumatic experience, and that's why they send you to therapy to find out why you're doing this, why you're controlling food. But the reason I say it's also the first step to recovery is, in order to get better, you have to want to get better, because no one's gonna help you, not the doctor, not your sister, not your mom. Like, you have to fully commit and want to get better, because if you don't, then there's no changing this. If your goal is to kind of wither away and die with this mental disorder, you will get to that point eventually. And if you actually want to fight, and I mean, of course, I'm not saying that if you want to get better but you're not trying, that you'll get, like, it's hard to explain a little bit, but I'm saying that you have to have a goal in the back of your mind. And yes, it could be hard, you could be fighting through it, there could be like ups and downs, but if your goal is to eventually get better, and if you put your mind to getting better, you will get better. And it may take a very long time, and it may take small step by step, but if you're a person who does not want to get better, if you're just like, I want to die, because I remember at one point I was like, I'd rather die skinny than get better and gain weight. And if your mentality is there, then it's very hard for me or for anyone to kind of like make you think otherwise or help you, because we can't force you to eat. Because if in here you're like, not reacting to that, and you're just like, I know what I want, and you just want to have this disease, then we can't really help you. Yes, we could try to like persuade you into like, you know, we can encourage you and give you tips and why you should consider recovery or how to get better and all this. But if you don't want it for yourself, it's going to be very hard to convince you otherwise, if that makes sense. That's why a lot of times people suffering through anorexia or these types of diseases have a very tough past. Sometimes they were abused, or called names like fat or something, and that way they want to prove something, and in the back of their mind they want to lose weight, and I think they just take it to the extreme, which, concludes or results to eating disorders, anorexia, taking it to extreme and things like this. So that's another, actually, why psychology is so big into it, is because if you're a perfectionist and you decide to lose weight and go on a diet, you're going to be super strict with it, and it could be orthorexia, anorexia, and it results in eating disorders as well. So I think in therapy a lot of times they teach you to see things as not just black and white, because and especially during this age, like of teenager years, because I was learning in my psychology class that teenagers have this extreme mindset, and they see things as black and white. And I think that's why a lot of times you'll see that in like people that are recovering are often like after their teenage years, it seems that they're going better and better and better. But I think it's a slow process, so it's not like as soon as you turn 20, not a teenager anymore, that you're gonna see things as black and white. I mean, not black and white, but a gray perspective. It's not like that. It's a very slow, gradual process. Um, sister. I have to give her the sign language of go away. But, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, that it's a gradual thing and it slowly goes into getting better, and it's not, overnight. But it's something that takes time, and as long as you're always fighting and trying to get better, that's what really matters. And I know it's so hard to see the gray in diets and everything. Like if you met like there's like seeing the point that you don't mess up. Like if you binge one day, out of eating healthy for a week, that's not a mess up. That's just happened. And it took me a while to realize that, because I think after being anorexic, I was 16. I was still teenager year, and I still saw things as black and white. But I was trying to get better. So yes, I fell into more of an orthorexic type like view for food, where like things are clean or not clean, but at least I ate and I gained weight and I got better. So it's through that, and then eventually with time, I think after binging a lot, then I realized that, it happens, but it's like you could always get back into control. Not control, but back on a lifestyle and back into a rhythm, that it's not a mess up. It doesn't mean you're a failure. I think, through binging, my little binging episodes, I had to realize that, which was a bit tough. And now I think only now at this point I'm kind of seeing a gray perspective, but it took time and practice. It took time and practice seeing that there's no evil food. There's going to be food that makes you feel worse and food that makes you feel better. There's always going to be healthy and unhealthy foods. There's no good or bad, if that makes sense. So I think it just took me time to realize that, and that's why I'm saying that psychology, or what's in here, it's the first step to recovery. And this is my perspective. This could be totally wrong. I don't know. This is just what I've found out and what I've researched, especially I think after taking that psychology class about teenagers and how teenagers think. It made me realize why they have that it's often in this age that kids have, or teenagers have, eating disorders, and that's because they're extremists type vision of everything, trying to be extreme with their decisions, I guess, seeing everything black and white. And they also mention things like trying to impress other peers, trying to reach a goal, trying to become someone. And it's just at that age when they're trying to, also like puberty, and where they're maturing, and there's going to be weight gain when you're going through puberty, I think. And well, no, I think it's part of development. And I think that sometimes it could freak some teenagers out, and they see the scale go up, even though it's not getting fatter. They're developing and growing, and whether it's height or just developing muscles and all this into adulthood. And I think they often see at like the scale and say, oh, this is me gaining weight. I'm getting fat, because it comes to trying to impress others and look good. But then again, they're trying to be extreme, and they go on an extreme diet to fix this, and then to extreme it goes to eating disorder, and it kind of is like a little loop. And then eventually, with time, once they get older, they might, if they haven't gone too extreme, because there have been incidents where the anorexia takes over, and sadly it can take over life. But if it hasn't gone to that, and if they try to get better and better with adult years, I think, and there's still, don't get me wrong, it's anorexia and eating disorders, it's not just in teenagers. It can, go into adults too. Adults have this too, and older adults have this too. But I'm just saying it develops in teenage years because of this mentality. And I also think that in adult years, in teenage years, if they don't start working with this eating disorder, that's why they send them therapy and all this, then it could get worse with years, because the older you get, the harder it is to break bad habits, if that makes sense. So if you're a teenager and you go see a therapist and try to get better, I think it's a little bit easier to break those bad habits and get into a good lifestyle than if you ignore it and just continue with it, and eventually it will, you know, lead to not good, or it will be a constant fight. Even though, like, I feel like eating disorders are always a constant thing, always something you have to, because eating is a big part of our world, and with this culture of fat shaming and this culture. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Sorry, my cat pressed something on the computer. But anyways, it's just hard with this society of, you know, Epic, I see you pressing stuff on my computer, okay? Better get away from there, my baby. But anyways, I hope this video helps, and let me know if it does, if this makes even sense. And this is my opinion, so don't, like, you know, like, hate on me. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye.